Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be speaking to all of you today with Natalie, and I feel really honored too, because this church has been such an important part of my life. I've grown in my faith and as a person because of the community that I've experienced here. And unfortunately, my time as a youth participant at the cathedral is coming to a close soon. In fact, a lot of things are coming to a close because I'm graduating. And even though my senior year has been so fun, it has also been busy and stressful and even hectic at times. And throughout high school, but this year in particular, I've seen church as a source of calm and peace in my week. But one thing I have struggled with this year is being able to carry that peace past Sunday and into my week. I feel my faith grow whenever I'm in this building and whenever I'm at church, but I don't want that growth to be isolated between just a certain period of time or just this building. And I feel that outside of church, I have not tended to my faith as I should, because I feel I have let other things take precedence over my faith. There have been so many things grabbing for my attention this year. I've struggled to turn to Jesus when my life has felt chaotic. When things are not going to plan, I find myself clinging harder to my schedule. I find myself seeking control over God's will, over God's peace. And when I do this, when I ignore my relationship to God because I feel I'm too busy, I find myself denying God's place in my life. These denials are unintentional and almost subconscious. It goes against my instincts to trust God over my own ability. It goes against my instincts to seek faith over predictability in my life. It's in these struggles and denials that I see myself in Peter. But it is also in Peter and in this gospel that I find hope. In the gospel today, we see Peter, a disciple who jumps into the water with enthusiasm as soon as he hears Christ is on shore. But earlier in John 18, we see him at his weakest point, denying his relationship to Jesus 3 times. Peter is impulsive yet hesitant, enthusiastic yet reserved at all the wrong moments. Above all, he's inconsistent, and for that reason, he's relatable. Because while I love Jesus and church is so important to me, I too easily deny my faith. These denials are far less dramatic than Peter's, but they are denials nonetheless. But this gospel and Peter's story do not end in denial. And so I know my story will not end in it either. After Peter and the other disciples have reached the shore, Jesus asks Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?" In these simple questions, Jesus acknowledges Peter's mistakes and gives him an opportunity to move on from his weakness and reaffirm their relationship. Each of these questions is followed by a simple request. Jesus asks Peter, "Tend my sheep." In these commands, Jesus, our good shepherd, challenges and puts his own faith in Peter, even though Peter does not deserve it at all. Jesus is saying, "I believe in you. You have a purpose and a future with me, despite your shortcomings." And I'm sure Peter is honored and also very daunted by the responsibility of these commands. After Jesus' ascension, Peter will enter a new and completely unfamiliar chapter of his faith. I can imagine Peter thinking, "Lord, I have struggled so much with my faith, even when you have been physically present. How will I do this on my own?" Next year, I feel I'm entering a new period in my faith too. I won't have my cathedral community with me to recenter me every week. And like Peter, I'm going to need to take more responsibility than I ever have before in keeping my faith strong and keeping it growing. I am nervous, but I have learned from Peter that I cannot deny my faith just because I'm afraid of being uncomfortable. And if I learn from Peter's weak moments in faith, I can also learn from his strong moments and take his advice when he says, "Cast all your anxiety on the Lord because he cares for you." Amen.